name is Monette, and this is my channel, Evolve with Monette. For those of you that are new here, bear with me as I get this steady. How are you guys tonight? Okay, that's better. We're a little further back. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about something that I promised you I would. We were talking recently, and I said something in one of the videos about tall poppy syndrome and that I would be teaching about it. So I had to order some props. Props have arrived, and I wanted you to really get the visual. So, you guys see this grouping of beautiful poppies. Do you notice anything different with any of the poppies? Do we notice anything different with any of the poppies? Now, guys, I am traveling, so don't mind my surroundings. I know it's always unusual. I'm always on the go, so I am traveling, and I wanted to chat with you guys before I went to bed. For those of you that are new here, I'm a professional intuitive empath, and today we're going to figure out the mystery of the tall poppy syndrome. For those of you that are not familiar, I have my handy dandy notes over here on my laptop. So, tall poppy syndrome. Specifically, I wrote down a quote. The tall poppy syndrome is the cultural phenomenon in which people hold back, criticize, or sabotage those who have or are believed to have achieved notable success in one or more aspects of life, particularly intellectual, cultural, or wealth. So, tall poppy syndrome happens when people want to kind of take you down because if they have grown to this level, then what makes you think you can ascend to this level? My empaths, my earth angels, all of that jazz, you guys understand this better than anybody. We are often subject to tall poppy syndrome. And this is it's really something that actually originated in Australia. I wanted to teach you guys about that. And it references the idea that the poppies should all grow together at the same height and the same speed. Hey, hello, good evening. At the same height and the same speed. If one becomes taller than the others, it will be cut down to size to maintain the whole crop and ensure a uniform field when viewed from the outside. So this is about everyone being cohesive, everyone looking like they all are the same. This is about everyone fitting into the same Rubik's Cube or the Matrix. And I thought about that tonight when I did my earring choice, y'all. Yes, it actually works. You can actually turn these around. It's a real Rubik's Cube. And these earrings. And I thought about that, about all of how we fit into something or how we think we should fit into something. And the truth of the matter is that it is okay to be unique. It is okay to be individual. It is okay to shoot to the top of the crop. It is okay to be top of the pops. It is okay to be the best. There is always someone that has to be the best. All this participation trophy stuff, I am one of the people that's like, that's insane. Because the truth of the matter is, you have to work to make a name. Nobody gets anything by accident. And if you happen to be one of the poppies that shot to the top, then you need to know about yourself that you are made of a different crop. You are made of a different stuff. You are made of tougher stuff. You would not have been able to do what this poppy here has done. Let me see if I can get it to open up. No, like I said, fresh props, guys. The things I do for you guys. I love you guys. So I wanted you guys to get the visual, right? You are not able to get to this point in this connection with yourself if you are not striving towards really healthy boundaries and perfection regarding your craft, because it's about achieving a certain level of something that other people may feel that you cannot. With the tall poppy syndrome, the other thing to understand about it is, let's see here. Let's see. All right. So the other things to note about it is that it's usually caused by people that may be feeling insecure around you as well. So they're insecure because when they're looking up to you and you surpass them, they don't understand how you got there. They're like, how did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. I played this tall poppy thing for the last time. My heart said, no, nobody's supposed to be here. But this is something that happens when you work or when you're excellent. Sometimes people are tall poppies they don't mean to be. I'm thinking of the show Doogie Howser and how he He was essentially a tall poppy amongst his other classmates, and that's what they had to eventually put him in above his grade because he just didn't fit in because he excelled so fast. The reason the rest of the poppies want you to stay here is because they don't want to be last. They don't want to be the last to grow. They don't want to be the last to know, and they don't understand what made you so tall, what made you stand out, what made you do what for them felt harder. How did you figure it out? That's what I'm hearing. Oh, this is a good one here. This is our tall poppy, Bright. How did you figure it out? How did you get to this place in your life where you don't feel frustration or strife and you don't feel like you have to fit in with the rest? You're okay over here living, doing your life, living your best. So that's the energy of tall poppy syndrome. Now, here's the thing. How are ways that we can combat it? And there are 6 ways. So you understand that no one can dim your light, empath, okay? So these are the 6 things. 1, always practice compassion towards others. Remove yourself from harm. Do what makes you happy no matter what. Gather a support squad. Don't waste energy fighting back. I love that one. Don't waste energy fighting back. Um, because this can happen in an office. If you excel at your work, your other coworkers will want you to seem like you were mediocre like them. If you are going after a dream and people around you aren't doing that, what makes you think that it's something that you can do? It reminds me of Oprah and her story that I lived in my own life in my own way of people questioning what made me think I was so special or so different or so whatever. I didn't think that I was that special or different. In fact, empaths, a lot of you guys know we struggle with our own myriad of vast insecurities, right? Especially because all of our life people are trying to tamp down our juicy empath energy. And it wasn't until I came into myself that I was like, oh, this is what was going on the whole time. It's not that I was so good, it was that I was in fact divine. Many are called, few are chosen. And if you find yourself ascending above the pack and you're not with the rest of the crop because you figured out that's not where it's at, then they're saying then this is your state. And that means that people will hate, or people will try to place disgrace or try to have you take account to the way that you show up in their space because you don't seem to fit in, and they will purposely go after you with a pack mentality because they want to bring you back down so that you can have to start over. You will have to once again begin. And that's the energy of tall poppy syndrome. You have noticed this happen where people cut down other people's successes. In an empath narcissist dynamic, there will be that you can't tell a narcissist anything good that you've done because if they haven't done it, they're definitely going to cut you down. A lot of us are familiar with that, but it happens in packs. So I'm talking about girl groups, I'm talking about cliques, I'm talking about workspaces at the office and other things like that. It happens in all walks of life where there is tall poppy syndrome. I recently went through, not recently, but in the last couple of years, I went through this. I went through a lot of things, y'all, but this was what was happening. It was that I was around people energetically that were living life in a certain way and they could only achieve a certain thing, or they didn't want to try harder. I don't know, maybe they could do better. I think all of us can do more than what we think we can, you know? And so in any case, I was living my life in a way that they resented, and so tall poppy syndrome, you have to cut that down. You can't let anybody do that to you, though. That's the thing. We will. Oh, Oh, I'm so glad you liked the Besties Basura video. That's hilarious. My bestie was straight pure garbage juice, y'all. Not my one now. I got a new best friend, y'all. She good. She's good. But the bestie that I did have was Basura, right? She was straight up Basura. But yeah, that's the tall poppy syndrome energy. For those of you interested, please go check out my video. My bestie was Basura. It's a little pep talk for empaths who have given a lot of energy to people that didn't appreciate it. Anyway, don't let people cut you down because the cutting down energy will leave you feeling like you're doing something wrong and you're not. That's what they're trying to do. How dare you have the audacity to shoot to the top? How dare you have the audacity to be something they're not? You know, I wrote a little children's book, and this is essentially the premise. Little Seeds has a belief that he has a dream, that he can be something, and everybody else around him is limited in their beliefs. They're limited in their ability to grow. And he knew more, and so he did ascend and fulfill his dream. You can check that out on Amazon and barnesandnobles.com. Little Seed, A Sprouting Story by me. But the energy is of this same situation. It's tall poppy syndrome, even though when I wrote it, that wasn't something that was part of my vernacular, and I didn't understand that, but I do. And in the last few years, I thought this is something I must absolutely teach about. So do not let people convince you that you're not wonderful or that you're not worthy of being the tallest poppy in the field. You can't help that. Usually it's something that is something that you can't even yield to. It is your destiny. It's something you've worked towards. It's something you're embodying. You can't even stop the growth and ascension. And on some levels you didn't even ask for it, but you did nurture it when it came to you. And as I'm thinking about nurturing it, I'm trying to straighten out the stem, because what we know about flowers is that they will turn their head to where the light is. And that's what I want to tie this in for you, my empaths and my divine feminines, my star seeds. I want you guys to understand that you guys sought after the light. So yeah, your tall poppy could grow. You were the tall poppy that grew, but it couldn't have been without you actually putting work into going in the right direction. So if you are the tallest poppy, please take it as an affirmation and a confirmation that you've been on your path and in the right way. This is exactly what your angels wanted me to say. It's okay to be the tallest poppy. Unapologetically. I'm just going to make us the only poppy. The only thing you see, happiness and bliss. You guys earn this. And don't let anybody intimidate or bully you or mean girl or pack mentality with their small minds. You know, tribalism, racism, all the isms are derived from people not wanting to be in this area. The vitriol we feel or people feel when those issues come up is very interesting, but it's because maybe someone in some area dared to be different. It's okay if you dare to be different. It's okay if you accelerate in your growth. It's okay to leave other people behind. It's okay to say no. Empath. It's okay to say no. It's okay to grow and grow. It's okay to leave those holes in the dust with your growth. It's okay to be the best poppy in the field, to be so high, to be so surreal that the other poppies eventually can do nothing but be in awe as they kneel. When Beyonce came out with Bow Down, Bees, everybody was greatly offended. But Beyonce is definitely a tall poppy. Every one of us have been in situations where we might have been the tallest poppy, or we've seen other tall poppies ascend. I want to ask you, what was your inclination, empath, when you saw those tall poppies walking their path? Did you encourage them, or did you join the group mentality to tear them down? And that doesn't say anything bad about you, because we all evolve at different rates, and we all understand better ways to be. But I do want you to think about your experiences with the tallest of poppies, especially if it wasn't thee. If it was other people, it says a lot about how you support and how you show up and how you want support and how you want people to show up for you and the things that you expect them to do. So when you're in this position and you're seeing someone grow, pat them on the back, let them know that you support them, because this is a lonely space to be in. When you are threatened because you're here, maybe, and you have to ascend, then you need to be friends with that tallest poppy to figure out how to get to a better end for yourself. But you do not attack to make them be reduced and be put back down here on the shelf. They're the tallest poppy. That's not where they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be in an abundant place, growing happily. That's all I had to share with you guys tonight. And that one actually was a quick one. I didn't know what was going to happen. So let's see here if there's any messages. Yeah, well, you're welcome. I'm so glad that you liked it. For those of you guys that haven't checked out my Bestie is Basorda, that may be one that will be good for you. And for the rest of you guys, remember, when you're watching all the poppies, figure out which one you want to be. And if you are not the tallest one, don't hate. Congratulate, because you will have your turn in the sun. But if you are the tallest one, it means that you have turned your face to the sun. And your new life and the growth has now begun. So good to share some energy with you guys today. Come back and join me next time. And we will continue to evolve together.